Have you ever felt like your mind is a crowded room, filled with 1,000 voices, all shouting at once? Stress from work, worries about the future, regrets from the past. They all pile up, leaving no space for peace, no room for clarity. It's like trying to pour fresh, clean water into a cup that's already overflowing with stale coffee. No matter how much you pour, the cup just gets messier, and the fresh water is lost. This feeling of being mentally overwhelmed is something we all experience. But what if I told you that the key to a clearer, more focused, and happier life lies not in adding more, but in letting go? What if the secret is to empty your mind? Let me share a story with you. In a quiet, ancient monastery nestled high in the mountains, lived a wise old Zen master. People from all corners of the world would travel to seek his guidance. One day, a brilliant but troubled scholar arrived. He was a man of great knowledge, having studied countless books and philosophies. Yet, for all his learning, he felt anxious and unfulfilled. He approached the Zen master and immediately began to speak, pouring out all his knowledge, his theories, his questions, and his frustrations. He talked for hours, his voice echoing in the serene temple, barely taking a breath. The Zen master listened patiently, a gentle smile on his face, while calmly preparing tea. As the scholar continued to talk, the master picked up the teapot and began to pour tea into the scholar's cup. He poured and poured. The cup filled to the brim, but the master didn't stop. The hot tea began to overflow, spilling onto the saucer, then onto the table, and finally onto the floor. The scholar, startled, shouted, "Stop! What are you doing? The cup is full, it can't hold any more." The master calmly put down the teapot, looked the scholar in the eye, and said, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" The scholar was stunned into silence. In that moment, he understood. All his life, he had been focused on acquiring more knowledge, more ideas, more answers. He never once considered that the first step to true wisdom was to create space for it. He had been trying to add to a full cup. This story isn't just about Zen or philosophy. It's a powerful metaphor for our own lives. Our minds are our cups. Every day, we fill them with news, social media updates, to-do lists, worries about bills, and expectations from others. We carry yesterday's failures and tomorrow's anxieties. Soon, our cup is overflowing. We become stressed, reactive, and unable to think clearly or enjoy the present moment. We lose our creativity, our intuition, and our connection to what truly matters. So, how do we empty our cup? It's not about becoming forgetful or ignorant. It's about intentionally clearing out the mental clutter that no longer serves us. It starts with awareness. Just like the scholar noticed the overflowing tea, we must first notice how full our minds are. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes. What thoughts are running through your head? Are they helpful? Are they kind? Or are they just noise? Simply observing your thoughts without judgment is the first step. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Next is the practice of letting go. Imagine each negative thought, each worry, each piece of mental clutter as a stone you're carrying in a backpack. Throughout the day, you keep adding more stones. No wonder you feel so heavy and exhausted. The act of emptying your mind is like stopping, opening the backpack, and consciously deciding to leave some of those stones behind. You can do this through simple practices. Meditation is a powerful tool. It's not about stopping your thoughts, that's impossible. It's about letting them come and go without getting attached, like watching clouds drift across the sky. Just a few minutes each day can create significant space in your mind. Another simple technique is journaling. Before you go to bed, take a few minutes to write down everything that's on your mind, your worries, your frustrations, your tasks for the next day. This physical act of moving thoughts from your head onto paper can feel like a huge release. You're telling your brain, "I've got this handled. You can rest now." Spending time in nature is another beautiful way to empty your cup. When you walk through a forest or sit by the ocean, the sheer scale and beauty of the natural world puts your own problems into perspective. The sound of the wind, the feeling of the sun on your skin, these simple sensations bring you into the present moment, washing away the mental noise. And perhaps most importantly, practice forgiveness. Forgive others, not for their sake, but for yours. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It just fills your cup with bitterness. And just as crucial, forgive yourself. Let go of past mistakes. They were lessons, not life sentences. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Leave that heavy stone behind. When you start to empty your cup, amazing things begin to happen. You create space. Space for new ideas to blossom. Space for creativity to flow. You start to hear your own intuition, that quiet inner voice that always knows the way. You become more present in your relationships, truly listening to others instead of planning your response. You'll find you can handle challenges with more calm and clarity. When a problem arises, instead of reacting with panic from an overflowing cup, you can respond thoughtfully from a place of spaciousness. The solution is often simple. but it gets lost in the noise. Think of an artist standing before a blank canvas. The emptiness of the canvas isn't a lack of something. It's the potential for everything. It's the freedom to create a masterpiece. Your mind is that canvas. By clearing it of the old, faded scribbles of yesterday, you give yourself a fresh start, every single day. Like the scholar in the story, we must be willing to let go of what we think we know to make room for what we can become. True growth doesn't come from just adding more information, it comes from transformation. And transformation requires space. So, I invite you to ask yourself, what's in your cup today? Is it overflowing? Are you carrying stones that you could set down? Start small. Take 5 deep breaths, focusing only on the air moving in and out of your body. Write down one worry, and then tear up the paper. Go for a short walk without your phone. Each small act of emptying is an act of self-love and a step toward a more peaceful, powerful you. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. When you pour water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You pour it into a bottle, and it becomes the bottle. Water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Be open, be present, and watch how your world transforms. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Let's all help each other empty our cups and fill them with something wonderful.